for being with us on the feast of St. Gregory of Narek. Our top story tonight, President Joe Biden hosts a critical meeting at the White House that could determine future funding for the wars in Ukraine and the Middle East. He invited the top 4 leaders of Congress to the Oval Office. The Senate already passed a $95 billion national security package, and now the world watches to see if House lawmakers will follow suit. White House Correspondent Owen Jensen begins our team coverage tonight. Owen?
Tracy, good evening to you. As President Joe Biden welcomed the 4 lawmakers to the Oval Office, he told them, quote, "I think the consequences of inaction every day in Ukraine are dire," end quote. In addition to the national security package the president has been pressing hard for, also on the docket, money to keep the U.S. government up and running.
I want to thank the leaders for being here today. We got a lot of work to do.
President Joe Biden sits down with House Speaker Mike Johnson, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, and Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell.
We got to figure out how we're going to keep funding the government, which is an important problem, an important solution we need to find, and I think we can do that. And Ukraine, I think the need is urgent.
The war in Ukraine now entering its 3rd year, with concerns growing over Russia gaining the edge in the battle. While in the Middle East, Israel still fighting Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Thousands dead, no end in sight.
In terms of supplemental, we need to deal with the Israeli portion. But that also contains a significant portion having to do with humanitarian assistance into the Palestinian areas, which I think is important.
When the meeting with the president was over, the congressional leader spoke to reporters gathered outside the West Wing. Speaker Johnson says he wants the border fixed first.
It's time for action. It is a catastrophe, and it must stop. And we will get the government funded, and we'll keep working on that.
The meeting on Ukraine was one of the most intense I have ever encountered in my many meetings in the Oval Office. And so we said to the Speaker, get it done.
Later in the White House briefing,
the Speaker has to decide exactly what he wants to do here and then move out. He says he wants to act in a timely fashion on Ukraine. Well, let's go. Let's get them what they need. And the president is more than willing to have discussions about the border.
Also tonight, a debate over $300 billion in frozen Russian assets. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen saying today she supports liquidating those assets and using them for Ukraine's long-term reconstruction. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.